Everything is unfolding right now, and I need you to pay very close attention because this could directly affect your money. Before we get into the details, do me a quick favor. If you care about stimulus checks, Social Security updates, government decisions that impact your finances, and breaking political news explained in plain English, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. A huge percentage of viewers watching these updates aren't subscribed, and subscribing helps this channel grow, so I can keep bringing you updates like this the moment they break. Now let's get straight into what just happened, because this is big. President Donald Trump has just signed a brand new executive order, and while the headlines are still catching up, this move has already reignited a massive national conversation about money, stimulus payments, and whether Americans could actually see $2,000 checks sent directly to them. This all comes as President Trump once again doubled down on his promise to return tariff revenue to the American people, something he has been talking about for months now, but is suddenly sounding more serious than ever. In recent statements, President Trump made it clear that he believes Americans deserve to see a direct benefit from the tariffs being collected, and that benefit, according to him, could come in the form of $2,000 payments sent out to millions of people across the country. What caught many people off guard wasn't just the amount, but the claim that he may be able to do this without approval from Congress. That statement alone sent shockwaves through political circles, economists, and financial analysts. During a major press conference, President Trump was asked directly whether Congress would need to approve these $2,000 tariff dividend checks. His response was blunt and confident. He said he doesn't believe going through Congress would be necessary and suggested that the sheer volume of money coming in from tariffs could make it possible to issue these payments while also paying down national debt. That statement immediately raised eyebrows because traditionally, Congress controls federal spending through what's known as the power of the purse. President Trump explained that the idea would involve setting an income limit, meaning these payments would be targeted toward low and middle-income Americans rather than high earners. He emphasized that this would be a per-person payment, not per household, which is an important detail that could significantly expand the number of people eligible. Seniors, people receiving disability benefits, and working Americans earning $100,000 a year or less were all mentioned as potential recipients. This idea isn't brand new. President Trump first floated the concept publicly last summer, and later reinforced it in a post on Truth Social, where he described the United States as the richest and most respected country in the world, claiming tariffs were bringing in trillions of dollars, inflation was under control, and investments were flooding into American factories and plants. In that same message, he repeated the promise of a $2,000 dividend per person, and made it clear that high-income earners would be excluded. But here's where things start to get complicated. While the promise sounds appealing, economists and financial experts have been quick to point out a major issue. The math may not add up. According to multiple estimates, sending $2,000 payments to eligible Americans would cost roughly $450 billion. That figure is nearly double the projected tariff revenue for 2026 based on current data. And that's why many experts are questioning how this could realistically be funded. Another reason people are confused is the constantly shifting timeline. At first, many believed these checks could arrive before the holidays. Then President Trump suggested the payments would go out sometime in mid-2026. Shortly after that, Treasury-related voices hinted that checks could arrive within the first 3 months of 2026, placing the timeline anywhere from late January to March. Then, in a more recent statement, President Trump indicated the payments might not be sent until the end of 2026. That back and forth has raised serious questions about whether the funding is actually available yet. While tariffs are generating revenue, economists argue that the numbers being publicly cited may be overstated. They say that until the money is fully collected and allocated, promises of large-scale payments remain uncertain. This uncertainty is exactly why previous stimulus checks during the pandemic required congressional approval, even under President Trump's administration. Historically, every round of stimulus checks, whether under President Trump or President Biden, went through Congress for authorization. That process exists to ensure transparency, accountability, and legal authority when massive amounts of federal money are involved. That's why the idea of bypassing Congress entirely has become such a heated debate. Despite the skepticism, support for the idea remains strong among many Americans, especially those feeling the pressure of rising costs and economic uncertainty. President Trump has framed the payments as a dividend, not a handout, arguing that the money belongs to the people because it comes from tariffs imposed on foreign goods. Now, I want to hear directly from you. Do you support President Trump's proposal for $2,000 checks funded by tariff revenue? If you do, type "I support $2,000 checks" in the comments right now. Engagement matters, and letting your voice be heard is one way these conversations stay alive. While all of this is happening, President Trump also signed an executive order that's grabbing attention for a very different reason. The order aims to bring the first ever IndyCar race to the streets of Washington, D.C. as part of the celebration for America's 250th birthday. The event, called the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, is scheduled for August 23rd and will take place near the National Mall. According to the White House, the race is intended to showcase American innovation, engineering excellence, and high-performance technology, while also highlighting the beauty and grandeur of the nation's capital. Supporters believe this could bring a major economic boost to the city, particularly for rideshare drivers, freelancers, independent contractors, and local businesses that benefit from large-scale events and increased tourism. At the same time, concerns are growing about a possible government shutdown, which could impact federal workers, benefit processing, and other essential services. As negotiations continue behind closed doors, uncertainty remains, and that's why staying informed right now is more important than ever. As soon as confirmed updates come in regarding the $2,000 checks, the executive orders, or any shutdown developments, I'll bring them to you immediately. That's why it's so important to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss critical updates that could affect your finances and your future. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to respond. Thank you so much for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and thank you for being part of this community. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in the next update. Until then, take care and stay safe.